All right, how's that look? Gotta try to get going quickly with this one because actually I start work a little earlier today than on other days. But I want to talk about this is something that, and again, so much to share in so little time. This is something I'm a little surprised that I've yet to do. Although I think I remember I wanted to wait on indicating at some point there that I wanted to wait until I got so far into this project maybe to do something like this, but. This is going to go into the Why I Enjoy series playlist of videos, and I've yet to do one for Shootout Hockey, which kind of surprises me a little bit too. I mean, relative to how much I play this game, you would just think that I'd have something up about this game right now for Why I Enjoy for Shootout. I'm going to do this one a little bit differently than I've done the other Why I Enjoy videos, in that for the other ones, like in particular Mike Owen's Quick Play Pro Hockey, I had this here whiteboard with, you know, an entire list of items written out of, you know, what I enjoy about Mike Owen's Quick Play Pro Hockey. And it isn't that I enjoy this game any less or anything like that. I just think that for this game, it's one really big thing. And also I should throw in there that this has also been largely inspired, kind of the, you know, the impetus to finally get around to doing a video like this, which again, I was a little surprised that I had yet to do. Is I'm really grateful. I'm really happy about the support that I've received here on this channel, and that support comes in a variety of ways. And so sometimes it might be a comment in the channel itself, and other times I'm also Hockey Unreal over in Delphi in the forums over there, and so sometimes I get some really nice PMs as well. And so that was inspired by one of those actually, where I was reminded that, yeah, you know, maybe I should get back and do a little more shootout content. This is not anybody, because I've also hinted or floated this about the 4748 project. This is not what I ultimately intend to do with this season for video content. Hopefully, as the playoffs approach, I'll be in a position where I'm a little, I don't know, confident enough, brushed up enough, or whatever, well versed enough to do it as I want to do it. It's going to be a little bit differently. It's going to be different than anything else that I've done. Maybe it'll be hit or miss. Maybe I'll do it once and I'll just see that it's not working out. But I want to try something a little, I shouldn't talk it up too much, but I do want to try something a bit radical and different with this season replay. This will not be that. This is going to be a little bit more standard, how I would normally play Shootout at my desk, except that I normally wouldn't have at this desk, except I normally wouldn't have the Uno cards set up. I just normally plug things into a spreadsheet as I go along. And I'm going to try to recall what's on that spreadsheet when I tell you that Montreal comes into this one. Actually, here, I'll write it down before I forget. They've each played 38 games. This is going to be game 115 of 180 for the regular season. Montreal comes into this with a record of 11-23-4. And since they have only, actually, no, they have two goaltenders, so Jerry McNeil would have a decision or two in there. But Durnan's record is basically close to 11-23-4. Whereas over on the Red Wings end, they've had their ups and downs. They really have. More recently, it's been more of the former, a little more ups than downs. Sorry, I sort of jotted that quickly, so it's a bit sloppier than I think than the goalies' names are, at least. But yeah, this will be game 115 of 180. Played on January 25th, 1948, and this in North America, at least, it's still January 25th, 2022, not 1948. I don't think you're not that far behind me in time. But it's technically the 26th over here, so I really have to get going with this one. But again, this is going to be a Why I Enjoy video. So before I get into this game, the biggest thing about Shootout and what really ultimately prompted me to get this game, and it was something that I saw in a PJet video, and I should link to PJet's videos, at least one of them, PJet's Shootout videos, in the description, which really, I mean, those are the Bible of Shootout hockey videos. This is not going to be that, you know, not PJet. I'm not going to. So if you watch one Shootout hockey video today, go and watch PJet's content on Shootout. Go and watch some of his. And then if you watch one more tabletop hockey gaming video today, go and check out Peter Miller's video that he did on National Pro Hockey, one that I've been meaning to get back to and have up on a bigger screen than on this phone, and some black marker on the fingertip already. And then if you have any time left over, I mean, hey, you know, I'm here. But the biggest thing that I enjoy about Shootout hockey, and the thing that kind of blew my mind a little bit when I saw it in a game that PJet was doing, is the way that the line changes are abstracted. Because anybody that's played enough tabletop hockey, certainly if you played any longer playing games, you know that that's really what can sort of weigh a game down, a hockey game down, I mean, and make it a little clunky as the line changes. And I've done different things. I mean, with Hockey Bones, I have the cards in pockets, and so I can just flip and switch them around, and it does cut down on the time some, but it takes me a fair bit longer to play Hockey Bones than it does to play a game of Shootout. It takes me about I guess I can play about a period of hockey bones if I'm really going at it than I can in the amount of time that it takes me to play a full game of shootout. So that's really the biggest thing. I mean, I could talk about a number of things, and I'm hoping actually as I play through this game, some other things that I really enjoy about shootout might come to me. But the fact that John Kay solved a problem that was really, well, a problem, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it, with tabletop hockey and trying to make tabletop hockey work. The lines are already static; they're already set out for you, and so. And again, maybe this is something I can explain a little further as I'm going through the fast action cards as well. Just how that works, and how in doing so, John was really able to solve an ancient problem, I guess, with a decades-old problem there with tabletop hockey games. What I will do, one thing that I've left undone thus far is a pregame roll. So again, if you've not seen much shootout hockey before, then this will sort of double as a bit of a tutorial in that one. Because I know myself recently trying to learn this game, Glory Days Boxing, and I really do appreciate that there are a few different contributors out there who've made video content for the game, and so I'm not always playing back and listening to the same fight and the same result. You know, I'm not always going back, for instance, to Tabletop Sports Delaware and the Freddie Steele Marvin Hagler fight over and over again. As excellent as that video is, there are some other fights and results, and you know, other people who I can listen to their takes in that game as well. So it helps to have the variety. It helps to have more than one. Helps to have a few. And so this is just going to be my little contribution to that. So anyway, I decided actually, because Montreal has blue on their jersey and Detroit does not, that Montreal sort of gets the designated blue for this game. So with the one there for Montreal away, it looks like they're going to be playing with a D up against a C there for Lumley, and a D up against a C will mean that Montreal will have a 1-17 chance at a scoring chance for this one. Whereas the Red Wings here with a 2, they are a B at home, so I'm looking at B against D, so Detroit will have a 76 to 00. Which, by the way, I know most of this off by heart, except for the extremes, the B to E and stuff like that, or A to E. It's you know, it's more like 70 in that case. But basically, what I'm looking at here, so for the home, the offense, I think you can do it column row or row column. It doesn't really matter. B, and then Montreal's defense, or sorry, Montreal's what am I looking at here? Yeah, scoring being a D, their offense being a D, and then Detroit's. Detroit's, don't know if you can overhear my wife laughing aloud there, but anyway, it's, I can now understand, and I'm not going to get into it, another video, hockey game, certain other hockey game video contributor, and talking about when his wife's around and not wanting to make videos. I won't name names, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but anyway. So where was I? So I'm just going to try to talk a little louder. I'm going to go a little louder. Wow, she's laughing pretty heartily out there. Anyway, so Detroit, the offense is a B, and Montreal, the defense is a D. So we can go here we can go here with B to D, and then for Montreal, the offense is a D, and Detroit's defense is a C. So Montreal, the offense D, C 117. So double checking my alphabetic numeric math there, and I am correct. And for the goaltenders, I'm just going to go as played. Lumley played in this game. Durnan played in this game. The final score actually in this game historically was 1-0 Detroit. Lumley did get the shutout in this game. Sid Abel had a couple of penalties. Some Montreal defense as well. I think Bouchard had a penalty. Murph Chamberlain, actually, who is not a defenseman, he had a penalty, but I know a couple of Montreal's defense there went to the box as well. Harmon might have been another one, or Legier. And for Detroit as well, so I guess a bit for this replay as well. Montreal, again, the record 11-23-4. Depth scoring, totally lacking. Brock Richard already 30 goals. He's having a solid campaign. I think he only had 29 historically, actually. That's one thing, as I'm replaying a season, I don't know about anybody else, I don't like to look at the stats too much. Other than in the game itself, I do like looking at what happened in the game itself, and I might make note as well if a certain player scores of, well, how many goals did he have in real life at this time? But I don't look at it too closely. I like to compare how that stuff all shakes out after the fact. So I'm not going to do that here, but I'm about 10 minutes in, and basically all I've told you is the number one thing that I enjoy about shootout is the line changes, and the way that the whole line change process is abstracted, expedited, and just how it works into the mechanics of the game and the mechanics of these fast action cards. And Detroit, on the other hand, though, I was starting to talk about who's notable. Howe's doing decent. He's just under a point per game. He's got about 13 or 14 goals. As a sophomore, I think that's probably pretty much putting him in line with history. You know, people that look at rookies and they're like, oh, he's a bust. Yeah, Howe had like 22 points in his rookie season. So, you know, you might want to hold off on some of the bust talk. Lafleur as well. He didn't get so much ice time for several seasons in Montreal. You could have looked at Guy Lafleur and thought, well, he's a bust. You know, if you're just looking at the numbers on paper and not looking at the name, I mean. Anyway, you know, Joe Thornton, there's other examples in history, Owen Nolan, who went on to have outstanding careers. But so Detroit in this one here, Ted Lindsay, 23 goals, 42 points, leads the team in points. But Jim McFadden there in the second line, who won the Calder Trophy in this season, also has 23 goals so far in my replay of it. And Detroit is getting the depth scoring. Horak and Conacher in the third line, outstanding seasons. Red Kelly in the blue line as well. Actually, that's something that I've been meaning to do with the stats update, is look at which blue liners have the most points. I know Ken Reardon, actually from Montreal, once you get beyond the punch line and the depth is really lacking in their bottom 9 forwards, you have to look to some of the defensemen to see who has like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th most points in Montreal. Toe Blake, only 5 goals this season and 26 points, though, so 21 assists with them. Anyway, I think we're good to go here, where, again, why I enjoy shootout hockey, among other things, the number one thing being the way that this game handles line changes and that they're already kind of done for you. So I play this game a little differently as well. Sometimes one good thing about the old school cards is I don't have to worry about reserves. The reserves are all here on the bench. There are technically no reserves. There's a page about how to handle players who were traded mid-season. I don't bother with that. The rare as well, sometimes I see some things in the rare and I just overlook them and flip another card, so I'll say that right in advance as well. This is how I play shootouts. So as Dave Gardner would say best, you know, I might not be playing this exactly in accordance with or to, you know, all of what's written in the rules. You know, I play it the way that I play it, and here we go with it, where I realize immediately that because we're the tripod's position, this is going to be a bit more of an awkward reach than normal, but we're going to cut. Oh, that's right. I don't have a clock. I don't have time. I don't have time. So I should have known. You know, just waking up, only had about 1 total sip of coffee today thus far. And if I'm being honest, was up a bit late reading, maybe later than I should have been. And where's my Mike Owens folder? All right, so back, and because we are at the Olympia, let's just say in Detroit, let's use a red marker here to mark time. So 3 minutes coming off the clock here to kick things off. That's the first card in the sequence. I guess this can be, double as a bit of a how-to. So 3 minutes off the clock here to start things off. Meaning, you know, nothing really happened in the first couple at least. 99, that's definitely higher than 76. Definitely going to be a scoring chance for Detroit. And again, to avoid having to shuffle so much, I just cut and draw at random. Sometimes I take low in the pile, sometimes in the middle of the pile, and other times high in the pile. And I do try to mix it up. So B is going to be Jim McFadden there, the aforementioned outstanding rookie Jim McFadden here on the second line here for Detroit. However, he's going to be at the blue line. Let's see from afar if he's able to hoodwink Bill Durnan with anything. He is not, so we continue here where we take another 3 off the clock, up to minute 6 here in the opening frame. 88, that's going to be another scoring chance here for the Red Wings with Jay. Jay is going to be Rod Morrison on the second line. And Morrison will have it from the face-off dot, where, again, I've got these pointers and markers that I got to put to use. So he's going to have a scoring chance here from the face-off circle, inside face-off circle. And he's going to actually score. Detroit's going to go up here 1-0 about between 5 and 6 minutes in here to the first period. 1-0 Red Wings. So that was Rod Morrison with the goal. Morrison, he doesn't get too many of them. So what I do here is I take the time and the assist usually off the card following the goal. So I'm going to say at 5:47 that goal was scored. And I look here, L2D1, conveniently Morrison is on line 2. And so for the next 3 cards actually, normally is how I play it, as this PJet, I think. I'm going to look for assist. I'm going to say Morrison from Guidolin. And Morrison can't assist on his own goal. Let's give it one more try here. Right defense and left defense, and where I think it was D1 that came up. I'll check that card that said 47. It was D1, so I think it's going to be Red Kelly picking up the secondary assist there. So, again, Morrison from Guidolin and Kelly, 5:47 in, 1-0 Detroit, and another minute off the clock here. And we're going to get a penalty possibly to Montreal, and I'll show kind of how I do these as well. I keep simple hockey games simple, general theme here. you know, when it comes to a game like this. I think that sometimes people, certain hockey players, not that there's anything wrong with this, they'll take simple games and then try to pick them apart and sort of re-complicate them. I don't do that. If I want a more complex hockey game, I'll simply play a longer playing hockey game. But anyway, so for the penalty, I look VZ2 on Montreal, VZ2 on Montreal. It's going to be Doug Harvey, actually, is the first just name that I saw. And I don't keep track of penalty stats, so I think little of it. I'm just going to say Harvey. That way, something else I do kind of house ruling it. If should Harvey come up in a shorthanded opportunity, I would disqualify Montreal from that opportunity and keep playing. Anyway, so it's 1-0 here. Montreal is going to be in the penalty box here for the next couple. We're about 7 minutes in, where I might have to also mention that I overlook a certain other thing that historically how it would have been done in the NHL. But this video isn't about that. So Montreal's going to have a shorthanded chance here, however. Another minute crawled up here in the period. And we're looking at player S. Player S is not Doug Harvey. It is Todd Campeau. They're off the bench. Campeau, no goal there, shorthanded. And that's another thing. These are always from the blue line. So I just look at the first card instead of the second. Watch the second be a shorthanded goal. So the second one, it looks like it could be Detroit headed to the box. So here, 9 minutes in just about, and it says penalty versus home there. So let's see if the Red Wings will be penalized similarly. I'm looking for a Z or an X2. The first X2 there I see is Sid Abel. And since in real life he had a pair of penalties in this game, which also we already got the final score here, 1-0 Detroit. Abel's going to the box. So there you go. It's art, or at least tabletop hockey gaming imitating life. So Montreal on the power play now for the next couple. That was Detroit's second and final power play minute, where they now get a shorthanded chance. I just go with their normal scoring range for a shorthanded chance. I don't subtract, because shorthanded goals are pretty few and far between and hard to come by in this, you know, enough as it is. Player D is Gordie Howe. So Gordie Howe out there in the penalty kill. He doesn't score shorthanded either. So the second here, power play minute, there's nothing doing in it. And so we're going to take 3 more off the clock here now. We're up to minute 14. Still 1-0 hockey game here for Detroit if you're just listening and not looking. So it's going to be 86, meaning that it will be a chance. So it's going to be Gordie Howe's second chance here of the period. The standout sophomore, Gordie Howe, has it here in the face-off circle, and he's unable to score from there. We're going to take 2 more off the clock now. 4 minutes to go here in the first. 74, it's narrowly, Detroit narrowly missing out on another scoring chance. 2 more minutes coming off the clock, and 23 there, so no chance for either team. Let's take really close to the bottom of the pile here. So 3 more off the clock now. So the way that I play it, it's gone beyond the 20th minute, so I'm going to say period over for that. And I guess that would be mostly in line with what's in the rule book as well there. So after a 1 period of play, it's 1-0 Detroit. Now, I just do a very minimal shuffle, because sometimes I will take the very bottom or very top cards. I guess I don't know the very top card, but what I might do is like sandwich these, so I don't know what card's in the bottom either. And that's about it, because I'm going to try to take from a different area every time, and you can keep score, follow the numbers. See, I don't know, maybe it's cut in a certain way that I am pulling the same cards over and over again. Maybe it's some explanation for the high scoring relative to history that I'm getting with this replay. But anyway, I'm having fun with it. 2 minutes come off the clock here for period 2. It's 1-0 Detroit after 172. That's no chance for either team. So another minute now. We're up to minute 3 here at the Olympia, and again in the second frame, where we could have a penalty to both teams. Let's see here. So we're going to look 3-3. Looks like we got a scrap, a brouhaha, dust them up. It's going to be Butch Bouchard and Jack Stewart there. Couple of defensemen going at it. And let's check to see if Montreal has a penalty to go with it. Actually, player Y on Montreal. Does Montreal have a Y going up and down the roster? Looking for a Y. Glenn Harmon. So Harmon, how I'm going to play it again. Harmon, high sticking incident here, and maybe in the aftermath of that, having injured, cut, wounded a Detroit player, Jack Stewart got into it, and Butch Bouchard ended up maybe coming because I mean, they are defensive line mates, so that seems plausible to me. But anyway, it's going to be Harmon in the box for 5 minutes. And then Bouchard and Stewart as well. Should their card come up, then well, we'll see what happens when we get there. Anyway, no time elapsed. I also do the 5 minute thing a little bit differently, because I don't want the Vegas San Jose Game 7 happening over and over again. So we're not going to advance any time, but we're going to give Montreal here a shorthanded chance. Got to remember, too, is about 3 in when this whole dust them up happened. Montreal with a shorthanded chance. Player A, Elmer Locke, 21 goals, I think, and 54 points so far in this thing. And he's unable to get anything done shorthanded there. So 2 more off the clock now. We're up to minute 5, where we could have a penalty here for the Red Wings. Let's flip and see here. UZ3, UZ3. I don't see any U's or Z3s. Detroit gets away with one at home, of course. And so we take more time off the clock now. Minute 6, not a power play chance for Detroit. And 2 more coming off the clock now. Minute 8. So Montreal's managed to kill this off here for Glenn Harmon. And it could be a penalty going the Red Wings' way. Where it could be a penalty B as well going the Red Wings' way. We look here. And looking to penalty B, looks like we got another fight. Butch Bouchard fresh out of the box. This time he's going to take on Bep Guidelin. There you go. So Bouchard with a couple here in the second period. I know maybe there'd be some extra penalties thrown his way for doing that. One could argue it looks like an instigator, but we're not going to. We're just going to put them both in for, again, unless they come up in a scoring chance or something, I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to continue play 5-on-5 here, where we get 2 here off the clock. So we're now halfway through the game where we only play 60 minutes. This is going to be a bit of a penalty-filled one, so I guess it's hard to score when you keep going to the box. Let's see, penalty versus home, YX2. We get X2, so Sid Abel, much like history, going to the box. I guess I could put Jack Stewart in there, but he was in a fight earlier. Let's put Abel in the box again, where Montreal's going to get a power play chance here. The 11th minute in the second period. Player O on the Montreal Canadiens, Butch Bouchard. I'm going to deny them the chance then. Let's see if they can, and again, I'm house ruling it a little bit there. So Montreal's going to get a chance in the second power play minute, actually. And something I do different than how it was done historically is if a power play goal is scored, I end the power play. I know historically they play the full 2 minutes, but I feel like I could be wrong about this. I already have my scorings a little too high in my replay, so I feel like that could throw off the shootout engine itself. So I don't do that to it. Anyway, so Montreal here, it's going to be player I, Jacques Loca in the second line, where he's been decent for secondary scoring. I can't fault everybody in Montreal. Anyway, Loca here has it in the slot on the power play. Montreal looking to tie where they do it. So Harry Lumley's not going to get a shutout in this one. He won't echo or repeat history. Jacques Loca there in the power play. And maybe I'll show another little house rule here. No, I won't. Because this is L2D2. Sometimes when somebody in the bottom 6, for instance, scores, and then it comes up over here, and it'll say like maybe L1, what I will do is I'll assume that the player in the bottom 6, say bottom 6 forward, I'll assume that maybe he was out there as the 4th forward on the power play, and I'll look to award some assists to the top line. But I'm not going to get that here. I'm just going to look L2D2 and taking the time here. So 11:56 in the second period, Montreal has tied the game. And what am I looking at? Again, yeah, right defenseman there. D2 right defenseman. Oh, Bouchard. Wait, no, he got into that fight at the 8-minute mark. So let's look for somebody else. Line. Yeah, we could do that. We could say Billy Ray and Rip Riopel. Yeah, we could, which is just a fun classic hockey name. We could include them. Billy Ray, who has like 1 goal and about 15 assists now this year. 20 goal scorer in my 46-47 replay, as I recall, with Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey. Anyway, we got a 1-all game here. It's Loca on the power play from Ray and Riopel. And we're going to take 2 more minutes off the clock now here with our even 1-1 game, 37. That's no chance for either team. It's going to be up to minute 17 now here in the second period, where it's potentially another penalty to the Red Wings. W and Z2 looking. I see W. It's going to be Doug McKegg actually off for a pair here late in the second. Montreal the chance to go ahead, but it's going to be the Red Wings with a shorthanded chance here. Player H on the Red Wings is Ted Lindsay. Ted Lindsay out there on the penalty kill. Doesn't score shorthanded. So the second, of course, that would have been a save chance. But this will be another shorthanded opportunity. Again, this is just how I play it. Player C is going to be Jim Conacher there on line 3. And Jim Conacher unable to bury it here, but a terrible power play squandered there. Power play chance to go ahead, spoiled there by Montreal. And that means the end of 2 periods. So again, I might just sort of do a very minimal, just a glossing over of that, and that's pretty much all that I'm going to do. So I've eliminated the problem of shuffling. This is a 1-1 game after 2. Let's reset the clock and start things off for period 3, where we start off with a pair of minutes gone off the clock. 99. That's a chance for the Detroit Red Wings here. Player O for Detroit. We're looking at Leo Reese there, the second defensive pairing. Reese appropriately from the blue line, and he's unable to get one by Durnan from there. Another minute off the clock here. And 76, just barely a chance there for Detroit. So a follow-up chance here. Player C, Jim Conacher again on line 3. Conacher has it in the slot. Nice and close in the goal mouth where he's going to put Detroit up 2-1 here, unsurprisingly. Again, Montreal 11 wins in 38 games coming into this. So maybe I've spoken too soon here, but I doubt it. Jim Conacher has scored. And the time of the goal here, we're going to say 2:38 into period 3. I'm looking L1D1. I'm going to look L3D1 instead, with Conacher being on line 3 and this not being a special teams, power play situation. It's going to be Conacher from Pete Horak. He's had a pretty productive, outstanding season as well. And Jerry Couture, since this is not line, I don't have to worry about the XL. Jerry Couture getting the secondary. Detroit's third line all getting involved in their second goal. And it's 2-1 hockey game now. 2 more off the clock here, up to minute 5. And 11, that's going to be a chance for Montreal to tie it, though. Player B, we got the Rocket. Rocket Richard here with it, but he's boxed. He's kept out to the blue line from the periphery there, unable to put one by Harry Lumley. 2 more minutes off the clock now here. 13 minutes to go in regulation, in the game, because no overtime was done. 32 is no chance for either team. Another minute off the clock here. And there could be another big scrap here mid-ice. Let's see. So 49 home and away. Y2, does Detroit have a what? They do. Ted Lindsay. Ted Lindsay's going for a 5-minute major. Ted Lindsay, but let's see if he'll be accompanied by anyone from the Canadiens, where it's going to be round 2 between Butch Bouchard and Bep Guidelin. Maybe the referees split them up. The referees and linesmen split them up a little too quickly in the initial go round there. So it's going to be Bouchard and Guidelin dancing once more. But it's Lindsay in the box for 5. Good chance here for Montreal to pull off and come up with an unlikely win, where, of course, they're going to spoil that and risk taking a penalty here. And, yeah, that's the thing. I don't do the 1 minute at a time for 5 minutes, because I've just found with practice you just get too many goals, too many, again, the famous recent example, the Game 7. I can still get a goal or two. I don't think I've ever had more than 2 with a 5-minute major, but I was just getting like 3 and more goals more often than I thought should happen. So I've modified it a little bit. Anyway, Montreal here, potentially a penalty. We're looking to the YZ. We're going to throw Murph Chamberlain there in the box for a couple. So we're going to play 4-on-4 here for a minute. And then I guess Montreal will still have a penalty after that, although look, it is the Red Wings. So kind of a filthy game we got going here now. XY2 there for Guidelin's already in the box, as is Lindsay. Has Detroit escaped with one? They have. I'm not going to give them a penalty there. They're still in the power play. Anyway, so another minute gone by. I'm not even sure. Maybe I should have gone another minute with that one. I'll try to be a little bit more careful here. We're Detroit here. Let's see. So 3 more minutes coming off the clock now. So Montreal, they've really squandered that chance here, because 73-0. Nothing doing there, so let's flip for some more time here. 2 more minutes coming off the clock now, up to 16. And with a 60, that's nothing either way either. So 3 more now. Montreal running out of time here, and fast. Let's see, though, if they will get the chance. 86, no, that's going to be a Red Wings chance to add a little insurance here at the tail end. That's going to be Ted Lindsay. Ted Lindsay here from the blue line, though. Maybe he's running out of time. No, so let's see here. For the third and final period, I will make an exception here. So we are just, past the final minute, but I do have one more look here. Where's 6? Montreal with a chance to tie it. Oh, Red Wings fans will love this. Player A, it's Elmer Locke. Elmer Locke from the faceoff dot. And Locke doesn't score, and this is probably not going to be a 0 minute. That's another thing that I do. If it's at 20 and not 21, that's another thing that I do in the first 2 periods. So a game of shootout hockey will also, this is another thing I really enjoy about shootout hockey. It will not normally take about 30 minutes, as this one has done. This one obviously been talking, going slowly, talk for about 10 minutes at the beginning. Still got through this game, especially if I'm not shuffling, very little to none at all anyway, that I'm shuffling in between periods. And so that really kind of keeps the game going. I don't think we had a bunch of the same cards come up. I mean, you can have a penalty-filled game even, should you shuffle the fast action deck. And I've always played with the fast action deck. I think I tried once or twice with the dice, and I've also tried the Gardner hybrid, but I just like using the fast action deck. But anyway, here, final score here in this game, we get, it's 2-1 for Detroit. It was Morrison and Conacher there with the goals, so I guess Conacher with the game winner. Lumley does not get the shutout here, but still a pretty outstanding game for him. Loka responded for Montreal on the power play. Richard didn't get on the board. The Stars didn't get on the board. Sid Abel got a pair of penalties there, much like history. But again, I do that a bit arbitrarily. I just look at a card and pull a name, and I think little of it. And And I see now my alarm that I set actually has gone off. So again, what I really enjoy about Shootout, it's again, the way that the line changes are handled and that you don't really have to do them. And on top of that as well, you still get, Shootout really is, it's really like, it's not a fast result or even as quick playing as some other games like Mike Owen's Quick Play Pro Hockey and Doc Hockey. And that's not a knock against Shootout. Shootout sort of fits into that in-between groove where it has some aspects that one would really like about a longer playing game, but can still play in an amount of time that is a little closer to a faster playing hockey playing game like the aforementioned Quick Play games. So anyway, anytime, any consideration that you give to a video like this or any other, well, it's never expected. It's definitely always appreciated. Want to say thanks again for the support that I've been getting, both, on this channel directly and then even off this channel on the Delphi community. So, again, that's always greatly appreciated as well. Anyway, I got to get to work. So cheers, thanks, and bye for now.